Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Bao News Network, to our latest update for the weather here on Monday. We have actually been trying to just continue to watch the remnants of Henri in the northeast. We're still seeing some pretty heavy rain off the coast of Connecticut as well as Massachusetts, but nothing like what happened over the weekend. A significant amount of rainfall in that region. In some areas, they were receiving anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of rain. A significant amount of flooding in the region of Philadelphia, New York, as well as even boroughs in New York saw several feet of water of flooding in the streets. So we're actually taking a closer look to see what's actually going to be happening going into the week. If we take a look first at our temperatures across the continental United States, we can actually see that we're looking at some pretty severe temperatures along the west coast, Palmdale, California. 80 degrees with a maximum of 92. If we see Yuma, Arizona, of course, Arizona is in that drought monitor region, and we saw a max of 106 with a temperature of 98 in around 3 or 4 o'clock in the evening. And then for Lincoln, Nebraska, we saw a max of 95. Even in southeast New Mexico, a max of 96 for Carlsbad, New Mexico. If we take a look further in along the Great Plains states, Central Plains states, Chicago is coming in at 83 degrees, and Dallas and Houston were in the upper 80s. As far as the temperature is concerned, we saw some really high temperatures in the region of the Central Plains, in the region of Oklahoma, as well as Kansas and Nebraska. Of course, we are seeing in the drought monitor region of Arizona. One thing we wanted to take a look at really quickly was the motion of current storm activity in the northeast. We do see some scattered thunderstorm cells in the region. It's continuing to actually rain in that region, or in the region of eastern Massachusetts, along the coast in Providence, as well as Hartford, Connecticut. And these are showers in the evening here on Monday. As if they didn't have enough saturation, of course, from the severe rainfall as a result of um, tropical storm or Hurricane Henri. But as that system came in, there were just severe squalls of outer band activity that affected areas such as Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, New Jersey received a significant amount of rainfall. And these outer bands, even as the storm was almost 100 miles off the coast, these outer bands led to severe amount of flooding in the region of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and they're actually trying to recover from that at this particular time. So that we have to keep monitoring the tropics to see exactly what to expect. Here we are in the hurricane season, and it's only basically mid-August. We have quite a bit to go as far as when the peak of when the more heated areas zones, and we can see just by taking a closer look at what's actually happening out there in the tropics. We can see three systems, areas of interest actually, potential disturbances in the region. And the area that's in the Caribbean, kind of moving north of Venezuela as well as Colombia. I'm sorry, moving west into the region of the Caribbean Sea, Southern Caribbean Sea. That has a potential of development in the next 5 days, 50% chance. We do see another region motion towards east of Bermuda that has a 40% chance, and we have another disturbance that's just off just south of the Cabo Verde Islands, and that has a 40% chance. So, in all likelihood, we're going to be looking at another possible storm in for the Atlantic region in the next few days, or even potential depression or storm for impacting the region. So we'll have to continue to monitor the tropics going into the remainder of this week. But as always, we want to make sure that we took a closer look and to see what was actually happening with continental United States, and Henri is still kind of sticking around. We anticipated that for even a few days after the system actually was downgraded from a tropical storm to depression, that it would actually migrate out to sea, and but there's still, thunderstorm activity picking up on the radar at this particular time. So in the area of Boston and Providence, there's actually showers being in the area at this particular time off the east of Massachusetts, and off the east of New Hampshire in that region. So we're going to continue to monitor the situation with the weather across the continental United States. And of course, we are in the summertime, so we're continuing to take a look at some of these hot temperatures across the continental United States that is still impacting. Keep in mind that there were still several wildfires across the region, in the drought monitor region of Central California into Washington and Oregon. In some cases, significant amount of acreage has been torched as a result of these wildfires, and some of them have gotten to the level of 30 to 35% containment. So the heat is still an issue. We're seeing some additional activity in the tropics, and we're going to continue to monitor the situation here at Bound News Network going forward. Thank you for watching our latest update. Do keep in mind that we will continue to monitor the situation in continental United States with respect to the heat wave as well as the drought in the southwest. And we'll continue to take a closer look at the tropics, so that we can keep you informed of any new systems that are going to be coming into the region. One thing we wanted to notice also, that we're based on our projection models, we do see possibly in the next few days sort of a cooling effect that will be coming across the country, that will be giving us a little bit relief as we try to exit the heat of the summer and venture into the fall. So that is one good spot to be looking for as far as the projections and forecasts, is a potential for a cooling down trend for most of the continental United States as we go into the latter part for the last week of August. We are, of course, very, very concerned about the tropics at this particular time as a result of being in the peak zone of the hurricane season. So that's why we're putting a lot more reference on tracking what's actually happening in the tropics. There is a tropical storm, Marty, that is off the coast of Baja California, but it's venturing west out into open sea. So we'll continue to monitor if there's any change in the pattern there. But this seems that there's a complete flurry of activity with respect to the tropics as we enter into the peak of the hurricane season here in this zone of the Atlantic as well as the Caribbean Sea. So as always, we want to make sure that hit that like button and subscribe to Bound News Network. One thing we also wanted to discuss also was the issue with respect to all of the flooding that was actually led to the loss of several over 20 lives in Tennessee, and we wanted to make a little discussion as far as what actually happened. Basically, there were three main elements such as lift, moisture, and convective instability. And as a result of Henri being in the northeast, there was a system that actually seemed to kind of locked into place as far as a front. And as this front interacted with the Henri system that was in the northeast, it kind of stayed stationary in the region of western Tennessee, and that kind of led to a significant amount of a deluge of moisture released in that region, where it stayed stagnant instead of sort of moving across the state of Tennessee. And so that's why it led to such a significant amount of flooding in the west area. So we had a combination of Gulf evaporation as well as Fred, Henri, and Grace moisture. buildup, and combined with the fact that the system was kind of locked in place as a result of a trough that was in the northeast, it led to a very, very high amount of convective instability in the region of western Tennessee, and all of that rain, up to about 17 inches of rain, actually came down in the region of Tennessee, and which was very catastrophic to that region. So they're still trying to recover, and of course, there are a lot of people who are still missing. So it was a significant weather event, and it was just a completely disastrous situation as far as the amount of flooding that was in that region. We still see that combined with the fact that systems went through and the soil was so saturated, once the rain started to come down in western Tennessee, it was just a significant event where flooding, people were unable to just keep up with the level of flooding, and that led to a loss of life. So we do want to send our condolences to all of those who lost their families of victims as a result of this western Tennessee event a few days ago, and also we hope that survivors will be found, or at least those who are still missing will be found alive and safe. Well, thank you for watching Bow News Network. Have a great day, and always remember to bow to the weather. And we appreciate you tuning in to our latest weather update. We'll continue to watch the tropics for you, and of course bring you the latest information as we continue to watch the tropics, as far as additional systems that are actually being formed in the region. And don't forget to smash that like button, and also make sure that you subscribe if this is your first time watching Bow News Network. And always remember to smash that notification bell for our next Bow News Network for Bow to the Weather Report. Have a great day. Thank you so much.